Do you lean forward when you walk, pitched over at the waist? It's a common problem and it can be caused by incorrect use of the core. In this video, I'm going to show you what the problem may be and what you can do to correct it. Don't forget to click the like button to show your support for this content, and please subscribe so you can be notified of new videos to help you on your journey to better, more conscious movement. Pitching forward causes a heavy heel impact that can damage the joints over time. It also causes misalignment of the lower back, which can lead to injury and chronic pain. Proper use of the core requires rotation of the core. Let's take a look at what happens when we don't use the core correctly. Begin by stepping into a shoulder width stance, and we're going to show an exercise on how incorrect core rotation affects your movement.
I want you to take one arm and reach forward, keeping your posture nice and vertical. I can reach as far as I want. As long as I'm reaching with one arm, I'm rotating forward from my right upper part of the core, extending the arm from that side of the core, and I can reach as far as possible without tipping my body over. That's because I'm rotating. I have one side of the core that's active and one side of the core on the upper part we're talking that's inactive. My right side is reaching forward in a circle, essentially going around this way. My left side is inactive. But what happens if you reach forward with the right side, and now I want you to take your left arm and projecting from the left side of your core, reach forward with the left side. When we don't rotate, we end up pitching the posture over. So rotation means one side is turning, not both sides are turning at the same time. It's like if we had a merry-go-round and you have one kid pushing the merry-go-round in a circle, and then another kid comes and tries to push on the other end of the merry-go-round in the same direction, what you get is stuck. You can't go anywhere. And in the case of our body, you don't just get stuck, you actually just fall over forward. And the falling over forward results in a pitching action, because nobody's just going to do a pratfall and fall on their face, so they're going to end up pitching the spine over and walking like that. That's going to misalign the spine and then cause us to crash into the ground. The problem is it's very easy to find yourself moving the core in the incorrect way because none of us really learn this. Nobody teaches it. We just happen to figure out how to move the core on our own. And if we happen to figure out incorrectly, there's very few people who will come along and correct you. What we need to do in order to correct that pitching over is to understand that walking is a matter of rotation. It's that same rotation of the core that causes the arm to swing. When my right side of the upper core moves forward, my right arm goes forward. When my left side of the upper core goes forward, my left arm goes forward, and the right arm drops back. So only one side is going at a time, and that's why we always have this counter rotation when we're walking in a straight line. One side at a time. If I try to go with two sides at a time, I pitch over. Let me show you going sideways. When I go in a normal walk, and I'm going to exaggerate the rotation, because you can exaggerate the rotation and not throw anything off. It's only if you do the incorrect rotation or don't rotate that you're going to throw something off. So I'm going to over-rotate to show how that rotation of the core works. I'm always turning towards my swing leg. That's when I'm walking in a straight line, turning towards the swing leg with rotation. The minute I turn towards the swing leg and then turn the other side at the same time, I begin to fall forward and pitch forward. And you notice I land very sharply on the heel, and then I start walking with a pitch forward posture. In order to correct this, you have to feel that rotation of the core and then use that rotation when you're walking. Some people walk vertically when they're on flat ground, but then when they hit a hill, they will decompensate because they're moving up the hill with the core incorrectly. And then when they hit the hill, they'll start to pitch over like that. But the same principle applies to walking on flat ground to going uphill. We use the hips a little bit differently, but the core is the same. We're continuously rotating the core as we move up the hill. And that rotation is part of what moves the body forward, but it has to be rotation on one side, not both sides. Both sides causes everything to pitch forward. Both sides doesn't allow the body to rotate. Anytime the body's not rotating when we're moving, at least when we're standing vertically, we end up throwing off the motion. Practice reaching from your core, reaching from your core, reaching from your core, staying perfectly vertical, and then see what happens when you reach from one side and then reach from the other side at the same time. That will prove to you what happens when you don't move with rotation, and you just need to apply that same rotation, that same principle to your walking gait. I'm sure that'll help, so please practice. Watch the other videos on this channel because there's lots of tips for improving your walking technique so you can move more fluidly, move with more confidence, and ultimately move without pain. Thanks for watching.